Liam, no midweek game. That was probably enjoyable, wasn't it?
Yeah, quite rare. Uh, no, it's been good. It's been obviously good to get the lads a little bit rested, but also have some solid training sessions. So it's quite welcomed, I think, in terms of getting the squad into a good place, and then just revisiting some work that we haven't had the opportunity to do too regularly on the pitch. So we've had a decent week. Been pleased with it.
How's the integration of those new players going? Is it happening on track, on target, as quicker than you expected? How's that going?
Yeah, no, I think they're in a good spot. I think spoke about it a lot. I think because we've got such a good group of people. I think in the changing room that we've worked hard to recruit the right type of people as well as obviously good players. So I think that makes the transition a lot easier for players to fit into the culture. And yeah, I think you see it today. They're in a good spot. The group's in a good spot.
We've just spoken to Connor Wickham, a player who offers you something a little bit different up front, doesn't he? We talked about obviously that with him. Was that the part of the reasoning to bringing Connor in during the transfer window?
Yeah, I think firstly, if Connor's pedigree is obviously had a bit of a stop-start career with the injuries he's had, but when you actually look at his quality that he's got as well, I think it's also being clear, and I want to stress because it's really important. Connor's not just a target man. Connor, in terms of his movement, his link-up play, his awareness, his game intelligence, is really of a really high level. He's not just a big lump that we smack it to. I think I want to stress that he's a really good footballer. Got good game intelligence, good movement, and like I said, you can play into him as well. So I think he gives us a different dimension. You see it when he came on last weekend. He's able to pin people and win us free kicks high up the pitch, which is really important. It gives us a bit of a break at times and allows the team to make meters up the pitch. So I've been really pleased with Connor since he's come in. He's obviously he's in a good spot. We're building him up, and I think he's gonna play an important role between now and the end of the season.
And I guess it's not just about what he does on the pitch, but he can add some advice, some help, some experience. He's clearly an intelligent man who's probably got the ability to help some of the younger players, as one of the elders' statement at 28.
Yeah, no, no, definitely. And I go back a long way with Connor, and you sit and talk to him about the game, and just bits on the pitch. He can drop bits of advice. He spent the majority of his career around Premier League, so I think he can pass on huge things to some of the young guys we've got. And again, I think the challenge we've got to put on some of the younger players is to pick Connor's brains because he has got a wealth of knowledge having been around such a high level of the game. So he brings us a lot from that. Like I said, he's been a good addition for us.
I seem to have asked you this question quite a few times this season, and perhaps it's because of the way that the side is playing and the position you're in. But how much are you looking forward to the game on Saturday? Sunderland away. It's one of those. It's going to be loud. It's going to be the home support is going to be massive as it is. They are a big club. They are one of those sides that perhaps shouldn't be at this level. How much are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait in terms of. I can't wait to see the guys play again. That's the bit that excites me more than anything. The fans, the size of the club, the opposition. Great, but uh, I think how the guys are doing, how they're performing, how hard they work, how honest they are, the quality they show at times. That's the biggest thing that probably excites me game to game at the minute. Is seeing our guys play. So I think as I always say, we'll do our work, we'll get prepped, do the opposition analysis as best we can. But then when the games start, it's around our group sticking together, our group understanding how we get success in the game, and they've been terrific at that. Obviously, throughout the season. So I think that's the one that we need to challenge the guys to take it into the game at the weekend.
Started looking at other results elsewhere yet?
Nah.
No.
Nah, look, for me, of course, look, you can't help it. Sky Sports News is everywhere, right? You come in and you look. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't. You look to see what the scores are and how teams have done. But for me, I don't focus on the league. I don't focus on that. It can all change. There's so many points still to play for. It can change extremely quickly. I think that's important when you look. I'm sure most teams have a really tough run of games, which you only have to win three or four or lose three or four, and it can quickly change around. So for me, it doesn't make sense to do that. Let's just concentrate week to week.
And just finally for me, Aiden and David, how are they?
Yeah, David's back in full training, so David's in a good spot. He's progressing nicely. He's done really well. Been really pleased with David in terms of his progression in so many things. And then Aiden's progressing. He's not back on the training pitch yet, but he's heading in the right direction.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Sunderland, correct me if I'm wrong, was your first game in charge, wasn't it? And it was a bit of a baptism of fire being thrown in at the deep end with that one. But I mean, it feels like the teams are two completely different sides from when you first took over.
Yeah, it feels a long time ago now. First game, obviously, we'd come in on the Thursday night. We hadn't done anything on the Friday, so the first thing we actually did, having been here, was take the game. So, yeah, it seems quite a while ago, and I think the group have been on quite a journey since then. And that's it. That's the thing for me. And let's see how far we've come. Even more so going away up there. I think that's the beauty of it. And the big thing with the group, that stepping up to the challenge, which like I've said, they've done numerous times this season.
Some really tough road trips recently, haven't there? I mean, just must be desperate to play some home games for a bit.
Yeah, it's the beauty of League One, right? The not just the intensity of it, but when you look at the volume of games, the travelling, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, the play, recover, play. I think when you look at it, one week you're going to a club the size of Sunderland, the next it's a bit different, and I think that's the beauty of League One. I think there's every week's so different in terms of what you're being presented with and the challenges you face that I think that's what makes it so exciting.
And just finally, you mentioned there that you're still not looking at the league table, but at what point will you start? Do you think? Is there a point in the run-in where you start paying attention to where you are in the table, or is it just going to be final day you let Ant tell you?
Yeah, that game 46, huh? No, I think it'd be naive not to. When you get towards the end of it, I think it's a case of obviously, when it gets to a stage where we need to, I think obviously we will, but it won't change the approach for me. I don't, it doesn't change the approach of, how we prepare for games, how we go into games, our mindset going into games. None of that changes because we should be going out every single week to do our best and perform to our best and try and win. So I don't think it changes that. But at the same point, I think when it gets to that stage when if you're in and around it, if you're playing for things, then look, you'd be naive not to be aware of it.